I was like, wee. Hey everybody, welcome to Kats Creations live on Friday night at 5 o'clock. Well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yep.
Well, almost 5 o'clock here. So probably not 5 o'clock where you are. Could be 7, could be 9. No, not 9. 7 or 8. So we are making the Deco Mesh Pumpkin Wreath sample on the back. Although I used a different type of material for the one on the back. The technique's still going to be the same, and the amazing thing is that you'll be able to use it for a wide variety of different items. You could use it as a, I was looking at that the other day thinking you could turn that into an apple, and you can make a fall wreath. You could do it back to school for a teacher. I've heard it said that if you turn it on its side, you can use it as a Grinch, and just add Grinch eyes. You could also, if you turn on the side and use a cream colored or off-white, you can make a mummy wreath for Halloween and just make that the mummy's face. So there's an awful lot of different things you can make with it besides the pumpkin, but everyone wanted to know how to do the pumpkin. And most of the time, the tutorials that you see have you using a circular frame, which is a frame that is folded flat, has 4 different pieces, and then you would have a section that rolls up here, and then it locks in place, and you have another one that rolls back here so that you have actually a round wreath, I guess. But my thought is, how are you gonna hang that on your door? It would be more like, what would you hang from your ceiling or a mantle or something? So I'm using a 16-inch wire wreath frame. You can use a 14-inch wire wreath frame. That's our Dollar Tree. Normally it's my standby, but I wanted it more flat and a little bit bigger, and I like the spacing in the 16-inch because it's more narrow, and like Steve mentioned, it has a lot more sections, so you have a lot more to work with than here where it's, if you look, it's really not, it's like an inch smaller in the diameter.
Side, yeah.
Yeah, even though it's 2 inches. So, do we have anyone with us?
Yeah, we got a lot. Jane, Connie, Vi, Teresa, Sheila, Phyllis, Donnie, Lynn, Yvonne, Verlene, Sandra, Gail, Julie, Angela, Deb, Jody, and Regina.
Okay.
Hi all.
Welcome, and thank you for joining us on Friday. I appreciate you guys all being here. I know I posted this to the group earlier in the week and said to the main group, what would you like to see, keeping it fall themed, knowing that the month of August we're going to keep everything fall related, and it's all going to be wreath based, but different styles of wreath. And then I noticed that quite a few people had jumped in and said, we want to do this pumpkin wreath. Can you show us how to make like the pumpkin wreath out of Deco Mesh or burlap? And keep in mind that your material choice is entirely up to you. Like the one I did on that back wall, it's weird because I liked the color when I saw it. It was in the stash, and even when I ran the SKU number came up as item not found, which means it's a discontinued item from Hobby Lobby, and it's not burlap, and it's not paper, and it's not Deco Mesh. So it's something in between that sheds like crazy. So I'm glad I stuck it on there and it's done, but it looks amazing. What we will use tonight is you will need a roll of 21-inch Deco Mesh. You can pick your colors because some people like a lighter shade pumpkin. They might want to do more of a cream colored. Any color pumpkin you want to do, or if you're not doing pumpkin, you want to do something else, that's totally fine. But with this technique, it's 21-inch Deco Mesh for the base. And then I picked this avocado and burlap. It's like got the jute twines through the middle. I like to keep my colors more muted. So this is going to be the color of our leaves, like what we see there, but we're going to add more of them. And then I haven't decided yet, but I brought them both out, if I'm going to use the darker brown Deco Mesh like I did there for the stem, or if I wanted to do a burlap stem. So those are the colors we need: 10-inch, 10-inch, 21-inch. You will need pipe cleaners to match whatever base color you want to do. So obviously orange for my orange, green, and I'm doing a fluorescent green. For here, I have the beige for either the brown or this. obviously picks, whatever picks you want to put. If you don't want to incorporate any fall foliage on the top, completely your choice as well. You can just leave it all ribbons, and flex Deco Mesh tubing if you want to use that. So we're using these picks, maybe some different color fall leaves. I wanted more fall leaves and less flowers, I think, on this one.
Hi, I'll just join in. Let's see, Regina asked where can she get the chocolate mesh?
The chocolate mesh, I got this at Craft Outlet, and it's the basic chocolate Deco Mesh, so it has no metallic threads in it at all. So I think when I ordered my brown Deco Mesh, they were all out of the metallic ones that had the metallic foil through it, so I just had to settle for a plain brown, which worked out good. I think it looks really good with the pumpkin, especially when you look at those three colors together. They look very fall-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah. You will need zip ties. You will need a glue gun, bow dabber, and ribbon if your guys are going to add a bow. And I found my green lame.
Oh, good.
So green, I have the green lame 1.5 inch, and then the fall plaid 1.5 inch. And then we're doing fall leaves because I said I want this one to be more about the leaves and less pumpkins. So these were my color choices for my bow. So
where did you get the 1.5 inch from? And 2
oh, this obviously was Costco last year, and this is their 50 yard. And if you look, I have barely used any of this at all. So this is why getting those ribbons at Costco and Sam's Club is going to really benefit you. And think outside of the box. When you're looking at red, Christmas ribbon, or green or white or silver or gold, see it as different colors. Red is Valentine's Day, it's winter, it could be Mother's Day. What else do we say? 4th of July. So see them outside of, oh, these are Christmas ribbon, or oh, this is fall ribbon. No, this is rustic, this is primitive, this is country. The greens, St. Patrick's Day, spring,
Christmas.
Easter. Yeah, Christmas, fall. So wide variety of choices. So before we start, do you guys have any questions?
Good morning, or good afternoon, gals. Thanks for joining us on Friday, everybody who just joined. Regina said, great, that's what she was trying to find, the chocolate.
The chocolate?
She told us the Craft Outlet.
Everybody's out of chocolate. You could even technically go to Hobby Lobby, Joann's, or Michael's, and I know I usually refrain from telling you to go there because the Deco Mesh quality is so thin. But even Craft Outlet's basic is still going to be thin, but it's a nicer quality. But in a pinch, you can use that because you're only going to need it just for the stem. So you can make it work.
Yep.
So I apologize for trying to...
We have another Smith, Sierra Nicole Smith, said,
Really?
so excited to be here. Yeah.
You know, we were going to name Kaylee
Sierra
Nicole Smith.
Yep.
But
That's our daughter.
I don't know why we didn't go with Sierra.
Oh, awesome. Shirley says she's going to try to make it along with you.
Okay, cool. So, I apologize. Normally I take my Deco Mesh out because I hate listening to things unwrapped, especially cellophane. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take, I don't know, just a handful of your pipe cleaners and what?
Sierra put, no way.
Yeah,
Way.
right? So you're going to cut them in half because when we're utilizing them, it's only to keep our Deco Mesh from sliding off of either side of the wreath frame. So you can just basically take it. Yikes.
Slippery
Our cats
fucker.
will find that. And cut them in half. Like I said, they don't have to be perfect. Obviously mine are not.
Yep.
I'm going to put my 14-inch away because I am not using that. So I'm going to take this, get all my stuff prepped.
Thank you, gals, for all the well wishes for my dad. Yes, he's doing better, and he's going home this evening. So.
Yeah, super, super excited. Okay, so I am going to do...
Hi, Nancy. Hi, Maureen. Hi, Maureen. Hi, Carol. Hi, Connie. Hi, Shirley, Karen, Joan.
Everybody for joining us.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to start with our 21-inch Deco Mesh. You will need a zip tie to get it going. And that's just to ensure that as we're pulling on it and doing our wrap, that it's not gonna, I don't know. Pipe cleaners are better for holding, But if you really want to ensure that it's not going to come apart, starting with a zip tie and ending with a zip tie is probably a better route to go. And the only reason that I'm using the fatter one is, number one, it shows better on camera and it's easier for me to maneuver. Like, the ones I used on there are just the little small, like,
No zip ties, yeah.
yeah, the little 4-inch ones. But with that type of fabric, with it being so thick, it was really hard to take this itty bitty little thing, go around the wreath frame, plus around that thick of a base, and try to secure it onto my wreath.
Yep.
Thank God you guys didn't see that. That was really good.
And we're making another fall pumpkin like you see on the back door.
Yeah, different technique.
Different
though.
technique.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take our ends and we're going to kind of bring them to the middle, and we're just going to kind of gather that. And the only reason we do that is so that it'll kind of it'll take the end pieces and bring them more to the middle, because we don't want that raw edge. And then what I'm going to do is take this, and we're actually going to start on the back of the wreath. I'm thinking, is it the back? Yes, always back. So I'm going to go around just one. Normally we go around two to prevent it from sliding. This one's going to be a lot easier than when I did it with the other material.
And Ms. Yvonne says, by the way, they love your haircut and your color.
Oh, thank you. I'm like, but it's now with it cut so short, it's like super thick right where I don't want it to be. But I'll deal with it for the summer. Okay, so as you guys can see, I've attached it to the back. And so what we need to do to make the edge, right, because you don't want to see this, is you've got to kind of create like a little pocket. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go up and over our wreath, like so. So all I did is bring it up and over the front. And then I'm looking at the side, and we're actually going to make this go to this side, but this is where the challenging part comes. All of our deco mesh is going to be attached to the back on number 2 and number 3 on the wire wreath frame. So the two right smack in the middle. So when I bring this up, I've just put my pipe cleaner in it, but when I bring this up, I'm going to actually, it's kind of weird how you attach it.
Hi, Christy. Welcome. She said, hello, first time watching. I do believe watching from Mississippi.
Thank you for joining us.
And Maricel said, hi, I'm newbie. Hi, everyone. Hi, Maricel.
Welcome again.
Liz, this is a 16-inch wreath frame you can get from Joann's, Michael's.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 14
except the Dollar
inches,
Tree.
Yeah, except for Dollar Tree, right. So all I've done is I've just brought my, and Steve can zoom in, I've brought it, see it's kind of flipped over the front, and now it's flipped over the back. So every single time that I'm going to be attaching my deco mesh, it's going to be from the back. And what you generally see in most people who do the pumpkin wreaths, this is what they're trying to hide. When you're wrapping your deco mesh around the wreath, a lot of times it slides off the rail, and then on the very top you have portions where, this is what I was struggling with, you have portions of it where it shows on the top, like little pockets, no matter how good you try to wrap it, or how, you know, like even gluing it. So what people will do is they compensate by putting a lot of stuff on top and a lot of stuff on the bottom. And it looks great, but what they're doing is hiding the areas that aren't being covered adequately enough by the deco mesh. So this should help if it turns out right. So this one obviously is a different material type, so we will see if it hides our deco mesh.
Okay, so I'll zoom back in.
Okay, so now that I've made my little poof, so it's kind of gone around the outside of my wreath, which is also going to take our pumpkin for making it a round pumpkin looking like a basketball.
I'm zoomed in.
Okay, sorry. Making it look like a basketball, it'll make it more look like a pumpkin. So we're going to have these little bubbles on both sides, so it should be more pumpkin shaped, more oval. So
Give it
now,
a second. I zoomed in, so you guys should see it. Zoomed in here.
okay. So again, started from the outside, then you kind of flip it almost over to the front, but all we're doing is making our poof pocket for the outside. And then we're gonna come back in and fix that and then just start our pattern of going up.
Yeah.
So here is my pipe cleaner. So now what I'm gonna do is bring it back over the front.
And Christy and Maricel, since you're new, if you click share, it shares it to your page, and then you can obviously click like on Kats Creations.
Ouch. Okay, so now see what's happening? As I'm bringing that up and over the top, it's covering the rail and leaving it in a thick, nice pattern. You can leave it more loose if you want to kind of puff it and pucker it. But when you're attaching it to the frame is where you really want to make sure that it's secured tight so that your Deco Mesh won't slide off of either side. Our goal is to kind of keep it all, and the sides are where it's going to be the most challenging. So as you can see, I grabbed my entire Deco Mesh and it looks really nice and full. So again, I'm bringing it up and over. So I'm going to take my pipe cleaner, again putting it between rails 2 and 3. This is where needle nose pliers come in handy so that I can actually pull them through. And then I'm going to be taking this Deco Mesh roll here. I can move this up that I have here. I don't want to pull it too tight yet. And so what I'm going to do is around the back side. So if I'm pulling this forward, here's my back side where I'm attaching it. And this is where you want to really twist like crazy to get it to stay. Okay? So moving back, you can set that there. Moving back, taking your whole Deco Mesh piece. This is where the roll starts to become a pain. See if we can throw it on the floor and see what happens. So here's our roll going back down to the bottom. We flip it over. Go ahead and insert your pipe cleaners. And the only reason I didn't insert my pipe cleaners on the rails is because I wanted to see where they're going to wind up rather than pre-do them.
Mm-hmm.
So I just put a couple good twists in it so it won't slide down. And then when I bring this up, it's only going to be to secure my Deco Mesh in that spot from the back.
Right. So she's putting on her twist tie on the back, and then she's bringing the Deco Mesh over the rail.
Yep, just
putting it over the twist tie, and then she's tying the twist tie, and then she's bringing it back around.
Yep, and you can, leave it twist tied all the way out if you want. So then when you're bringing it back, it's covering up your twist tie, and then we go back in the same general direction.
Right here, she said it looks like the ridges of a pumpkin. Yep.
It does, and that's exactly what you want it to do. And if you look, I don't have any of the rails showing all the way around. I mean, this is kind of funky, but we'll fix that later. But the rails portion, for the most part, it's all covered, because every single time you're bringing it up and over, it's covering up your pipe cleaners. And plus it's the back, we don't really care anyway. So again, I'm going to take my pipe cleaner, put it on rails 2 and 3. And you can line a whole bunch of pipe cleaners up and just move them as you need. So I'm going to move this one a little bit over here. Put my twists on it pretty good, so that when I bring my Deco Mesh up and over, I'm going to take my pipe cleaner and I'm going to...
Dan, yeah, I'm trying to zoom in a little bit closer as I can when she's putting the pipe cleaner on.
So there you go. So are you on?
Yeah,
I know, that's
I'm
like
on.
the worst problem is like, how did you do that? How did you do it? So all you're doing is as you flip it over, it's almost like you're making a U-turn. So you put your pipe cleaner like this. Here might be the easiest way to explain it. This is what you're not seeing because the orange is on the underside. So you can actually leave those sit. So when you're bringing your Deco Mesh up, you put in your pipe cleaner right on your 2 rails, right underneath where your Deco Mesh is going to be. you twist tie it on here so it doesn't move, but it still has an opening like this. So it still has an opening to grab that. So as I come up, it's going right between my tie. I twist tie it, and then I'm going to go back over it, back around the other side, if that is easier to explain.
Angela asked if you could use a 10-inch roll instead of a 21-inch.
Yes, you can. I think there's a couple people who have done it, and I've asked, I'm like, how did you guys do it? Did you do 21? Did you do 10? I think somebody said they've done both. If you do a 10-inch, it's going to take 2 10-inch rolls.
Because it's not as thick.
Well, it's not as long, right?
It's not as wide.
Right, it's not as wide.
Right.
So, and you can leave these poofier if you want. Like, you can create some height if you want,
right.
Or you can pull it tight. And I try not to keep it too tight, and then this will allow you also to repoof it if you want. So again, we're doing the same thing, right? I grabbed it this way, pulling it going over my wreath frame, so I'm just flipping it over, taking my pipe cleaner, putting it between rails 2 and 3. And you can use large pipe cleaners because it'll give you a better grip.
Got it, gals? Yeah, it looks like they're all saying perfect. Thank you. They're getting it.
Okay.
Got it.
It just takes a while. Like the first time I did that one, I went back and forth. Like I thought when they did it, they were going like this.
Wrapping.
So that's what I did. Wrapped it all the way around, and then I was securing it just on one end. And I'll show you what that one looks like when we finish. But again, it's a technique that works, but I think I came up a little bit short on my Deco Mesh. So now I'm going to take this and put that in between that pipe cleaner that I put in there. So this will hold it to the top, and you can twist it until it's all done. You can cut them off if you want. But now, see how that's tied? Now I'm going to bring it back and go over it and go back to the other side. You can leave some poof in it if you want. Flip it back over.
Margaret said, thanks for explaining how to do the twist tie. And Chrissy
You're
said,
welcome.
y'all are great teachers. Thank you so much. Love it.
You
No
know,
problem.
sometimes you just gotta keep doing it, and I thought I need to like practice beforehand. So that was my practice one. That one was tear it apart twice and
Still came out
redo it.
nice.
Yeah, but it was tear it apart twice. So again, I'm leaving this one a little bit more poofier, but when you go to secure it to the back is when you really want to put some
And poofier is a word.
poofier. It's a crafter's term. We know what that means. We don't need no one to define it for us. So just make sure when you're securing your Deco Mesh to the frame, it's tight. But you don't have to make it tight when you're pulling it. It's entirely up to you, the look you want to make. And if you notice, based on the way that we created our poof, it's keeping those edges, keeping the edges on the underside.
Right.
And again, it's creating those pumpkin pockets, I guess. See, now this one's almost where, I think I could probably use this one. Let's see if I can slide it over. And I don't want to pull it too tight. But here's my pipe cleaner. I'm going to cinch it on there pretty good. And just twist. I feel like I'm tightening my bread loaf. And then going back. Again, if you need to readjust your roll to where it creates those ridges, not like ruffles. Ruffles have ridges. I'm just pulling these around so it creates the pattern I want.
Nancy, yes, it's easy. You can do it.
Oh yeah.
She said, oh my God, there's no way I can do this.
Yes, you can.
When
Trust
she
me.
finishes, she'll show you the backside just so you can kind of see how it loops back on each other.
Okay, seriously, all I am doing is just creating fasteners on the back and covering the rail, because that's what everybody, and I'll show you even on that one, you can kind of see my rails because I did it a different way. And then I was like, okay, there has to be a better way. So again, I'm kind of leaving it a little bit more poofier. So here it's ready for me to secure this roll. So all I'm going to do is pull it back. It would just be like if you kept going, but you're not. You're just going to pull it back a little bit to secure it with your pipe cleaner. And you can use zip ties if you'd rather use zip ties. If that's easier for you, you can use that. So we just twist. I just lay them that way. And then instead of going straight, which would be the natural progression, you're going to kind of loop it back over on itself, just like that. So that's how it came down.
Yep.
So I'm bringing it back over. And then running it down the other side. And keeping my pumpkin looking pumpkin shaped. So see,
Carol asks, is this a high foil mesh?
no, this is not. This is just a metallic orange.
It's a metallic foil, but it's not the high foil.
Yeah.
Actually, you have the other high foil over there.
I'll
right?
show you what the high foil looks like. Let me, I'm just taking these and pushing them. So let me go back over again. Putting my pipe cleaner through. Securing it to the frame with a couple twists. And I'm going to take this and drape this back inside. Make my U-turn. Like so.
Liz asks, what colors can we use to create the pumpkin besides orange? Yeah, you could use ivory or a light green.
Ivory, yeah, you can use burlap. You know, doing
Burlap
a burlap pumpkin like that would look really amazing.
Orange burlap, yeah.
Any color paint, you know, because there's white pumpkins. You could do any color you want. I'm just going to take this and twist this. Go back that way.
Oh, thank you, Deb. She said, I joined the private club so I could learn from the best and build my courage to give this a go. You can do it.
You can do it. We can help. Isn't that Bob the Builder? You
Yeah.
can do it. We can help.
Deb said this looked amazing. Julie said, this is probably my least favorite thing to make last year, but she sold 14 of them. So
See?
there you go.
So it's a good thing. But hopefully maybe this technique will be a little easier. Because I know if I had to probably make 14 of those, I probably would just be done.
Rhonda, yes, she cut the twist size in half.
Yeah.
And you don't have to. You can keep them longer if you wanted to for
Yeah.
just your fingers to be able to use and then cut them later or probably don't even need to cut them.
No, you don't even need to cut them. I mean, you could do it kind of like how we do the flower. You could just kind of knot them together or wind them together. And so if you look at the side, what I'm doing is I'm covering the entire frame.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again.
A couple of people are saying, they say to drink, but you don't like to drink when you're on your lives.
I don't. I don't think that there's any nice way of looking classy when you're drinking at all on a live, even though I use a straw, but I'm good. I drink before and I drink right afterwards. Okay, trying to get that one to unstick and get the edges back where they need to be. So as you can see, we're getting closer and closer to the edge. So this is actually the most challenging part of your pumpkin. And you really want to try to keep it, like, it's so nice. It feels like a pillow.
Yeah, Donna, actually, Kathy said at the very beginning, you could do an apple. You could turn this into an apple.
Yes.
Or if you did it sideways,
do it
you
in
could
orange.
do, like a white, you could do a mummy
Yeah,
wreath.
like imagine if this was turned this way and it's white and you put eyes inside of it. It could be a mummy.
Yep.
Definitely. So I'm just sitting here trying to figure out the best possible way. I want to get this to flip before I bring it over. There we go. I'm just fussing with it.
Loretta asked, how much would you sell them for? I think you said 60?
This would be a 60.
60,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just because I'm going to put quite a bit in it.
Hi, gals, just coming on late. Don't worry about it. You can always watch the replay.
So again, I'm
Thanks for
trying to
joining.
leave it somewhat fluffy. And I'm going to try to push these around.
Donna said, do you think 10 to 12 rows
I'll
Yep,
tell you exactly how many
once you're done?
once I'm done. Yeah, I'll count them. I just think it's entirely up to you. If you want more rows, put more rows in it. If you want to just cover it as best as possible, then, you know, you can go kind of minimal, I think. You don't have to go overly thick. See, this is coming over. and that's okay.
Yep. Sierra said you should make a wine-inspired wreath. We kind of have. We've done a grape vineyard or a grapevine one.
Yeah, we did the Tuscan one.
One.
Those sold really well in the spring, believe it or not.
Yeah. Sandra said she likes the idea of a mummy.
The
with
mummy?
that method.
That would be so cute because I don't think anyone's done it.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing. You know, just you
use
can
like an
even
old
get
burlap.
yeah,
Really
old
old
burlap.
burlap. Yeah.
Yeah, even like this, like old burlap, or like Steve and I had talked about doing that for like one of the signs I think we have is like a mummy one, and do gauze, wrap gauze through it. But that one, I don't know, probably kind of on the expensive side.
Yeah.
So you can see it's kind of
Amy
wanting
said the
to
same
fluff.
thing.
What?
Amy said the same thing. She said, "OMG, I'd love to see a
mummy one.
Yeah.
People will be like, "That's what we want you to do next, is the mummy." It's like it's the same way. So I'm just because my Deco Mesh is sitting on the floor.
Kathy, she's done a sunflower video. Done a couple of them, I think, twice now.
Yeah, it's been in the private group.
It's in the private group.
I think what I want to do, because this is sliding down when I went to pull on it, is I'm going to take this one and actually fasten it to the rail. This is the challenging part, is when you get to the end, the very end, is because everything wants to slide off the side. And I want to try to thicken it up, so I'm actually untwisting this one. Okay, wow, I really twisted it on there good.
Yeah, Thomas said I bought some fringe burlap mummy to do mummy out of that. And then Donna said I bet cheesecloth would look good for the mummy.
Oh, yeah.
It would, yeah.
I'm just cutting that one off because I don't want to go back in and untwist it.
Oh, that's awesome, Doris. She said, I've actually made a mummy using this method, and I did a pumpkin. I'll see if I can find pictures and share.
Yay, I'd love to see that. Okay, so I'm just actually going between, I'm fastening it to the rail so it won't slide off. And then I can go back in and do my other one. So go back over. And this is where we wound up.
Yeah, enough. Is it long enough?
Yeah, it is.
Barely.
No, it's fine. I'm just kind of like, it's a two-part process for that one. I just didn't, like, when I brought it back over to do this side, it was sliding off every time I pulled it. So now we're getting ready to make the pocket, right?
Yeah.
So, and we're at the tail end. Oops. Okay, so I'm going back up here on my wire.
Julie said, yep, the edges were the hardest part.
Yes, not the start, the finish. The finish is like, how the heck do people finish it without it just like flopping over? So there actually is something you can do. So I'm just going to take this. We didn't put our phones on silent. Normally we do. And I guess you'd probably want to make sure your last one would be a little longer to make our poof. And flipping it up.
Hi, Laura. She said, oh, that's so pretty.
So here we go back around to make our last, should be our last little poof.
Dora also says she loves the mesh you're using.
This,
Yeah. Really pretty.
this, and it's funny too because this came from the stash. The stash pile.
The storage unit we bought.
Yeah. And they actually say you can go up and in a little bit more, like how this one's flipping. You can actually bring it up and bring it in here. But putting your pipe cleaner in is the pain. I'm actually going to do this one on the inside rail just to kind of hold it so it won't slide off. So let's see if this will work. And if you have pockets in the front that aren't quite covering, you can go back and fix your pocket. Yay! See, it kept my sides without rolling off. So what I did is just kind of bring it down to the bottom a little bit, and I just secured it up here a little bit more. So now, and I'll show you how much I have left. I have quite a bit. Wow.
Probably need to work on the other side a little bit.
What side?
The other pocket.
This pocket?
Yeah.
This pocket?
Marisol, yes, she said I would love to see the sunflower mesh made. Is that possible?
This
Pumpkin is looking sharp.
sunflower.
She has the sunflower wreath made, but it's in the private group, Marisol. So.
Yeah, if you're in the private group, it's just called the African daisy. It's the same process. So now my goal is
And you can speak about your private group.
you can speak about the private group while I'm trying to figure this out. So I'm just gonna make sure that it covers and doesn't slide off.
So Marisol, she also does private groups on Wednesdays. She does wreath making, lantern swags, other type of decor. And the group is $17 a month. And you have access to all of the materials that for each wreath that she makes, plus the videos and all the private group.
Yep. Okay, there's our base. But I am going to take this spray and confine it, and I'll show you how much is actually left. So, quite a bit. So you can take your time if you wanted to and go back in and thicken it up, but that much out of, this was the full roll. So that's how much is left.
And that's
by
the high
time.
foil. Oh no, yeah, I
No.
put the high foil in.
Yeah, this is the high foil. So this is the one where it has foil in every single. This is like really thin, like every third one. So you can do high foil. I just didn't want it to look like a metallic pumpkin. So that's why I kind of kept it kind of minimal. So I'm gonna zip tie the fray to the inside of my rail right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this around my frame. Zip tie that in and cut this off. You can, if you want, come back and you could cut the pipe cleaners off that you can see, or you can just take them and tuck them behind the Deco Mesh.
Yep.
It's entirely up to
And
you.
Audrey, you're right. She's moving the Wednesdays private group to Tuesdays.
Need my Bible study.
Yep.
I definitely need my Bible study.
Don, yes, she got her haircut. Didn't it look beautiful?
That's not what you said when I came home. He's just said, wow, that's really
It
late.
seems like it is darkening up a little bit though.
I told you it would.
Yeah.
I said, just give it some time, it'll darken. So, tucking my pipe cleaners in and under. That's all you have to do is tuck them underneath all those little pockets. So you just take them, tuck them, tuck them, tuck them. So that's kind of what it looks like from the back. Flipping it over, that's what it looks like from the front. And then,
You want to show the back for a little bit again? Because I know that some of the women were questioning how the back looks.
yeah, the poofy ones, these are the ones that are covering your side rails. So these are your pockets. So you're going to have a little bit of poof on the side.
So you can see on the ends how it's folded over in the center. She folded over.
Yeah, so when you look at it from the front, you don't see the rails.
Right.
And if you need to, you can take your edges and just kind of tuck them in. So like you guys were saying, every time you pull this up, it's creating those lines that are on a pumpkin. And if you need to, you can go much thinner and keep your lines smaller. Let's see, how many did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, about 7 or 8 across the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 8. Are you trying to count?
Yeah, I see like 10 or 11.
How do you count 10 or 11? these are not all, like, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. So I think you're seeing them differently. So, yeah. And then what you want to do, obviously, like I said, when you're looking at it from the side, from the top, you're not, are you zoomed out or zoomed in?
I'm zoomed out.
Okay. So you don't have any of that rail playing peekaboo. So they say pick whatever side you want to make top and bottom, and then that's where you'll go and just kind of create the rest of your design. So I'm going to take all of these and move these out of my way, and then we'll work on our stem, our leaves, bow, and then floral, I think.
Sandra, this is a 16-inch wreath form.
Hot.
Caitlin's on. Hi, Caitlin.
Hi, Caitlin. We're making basketballs.
That's our daughter.
No, we're making pumpkins. That's what. See, if it looks more round, it looks like a basketball, which could be a good thing if you don't want to put the little pockets on the side and you want to do basketball theme. This could be a great basketball idea.
Tree, she said, "Oh no, I'm late. Can you recap?"
No. You can watch the replay though.
Yeah, I mean, she basically made a pumpkin wreath out of a 16-inch wreath frame. She used a 21-inch
Deco Mesh
with a little bit of foil in it, and she basically wrapped it around the front. So it'll be better if you go watch the replay because there's certain steps that you need to watch when she does it.
Okay, what do you guys think? This will be like, you guys are helping me create. Should we use burlap or should we use the brown to make this stem?
Brown or burlap?
Brown or burlap. I can teach you how to use either or. So this is 6 inches, this is 10. But I'll show you how you can do either or. What do you guys think? Brown or tan?
Brown or tan.
Brown
There's always that delay,
or
right?
tan. Yeah, no. Brown or tan.
One brown, one burlap. Another brown.
There we go. Brown,
Another burlap.
Brown, burlap. Brown, burlap.
Another brown.
I'm
Another brown.
I'm thinking brown too.
Burlap.
Okay. Process
Burlap.
is the same.
It's like 50-50.
Okay. So, recycling, right? It all matters. So, you can do it. I just used an empty toilet paper roll because it helps define the shape and thicken it up. And you just take your toilet paper roll and cut it in half because you'll be able to use, I think, a couple of these. But you like it because it's round. It gives your glue something to stick on. Mm-hmm. So we are going to basically take this. I'm actually going to, I'm looking at the width of my stem.
Are you going to funnel it out a little bit?
Am I going to what?
Funnel it, make it look kind of like a funnel.
No.
Okay.
I'm going to actually flatten it and make it look flat though, so I can cut it. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. So I'm going to go about halfway. That's a better way to do it. You just go halfway. Cut it in half. Just like so. So I have room to make another one. And then do the magic of TV glue gun. And then, let's see. Going to take this. I need to create.
Sia says she bets she has one of those still in the holder. The kids never change them out.
I know. I was like, in this house, there's probably one always somewhere. So let me just cut this because this brown is not even. So let me move this. It's kind of coming up uneven.
And yes, you could use the wood burning tool for this.
You could, but we're going to glue the ends down so it doesn't really matter. So I just wanted a fresh cut so that I'm actually going to lay a bead down on my stem. So I'm just going to lay a glue on the edge so my Deco Mesh can begin to stick on this side, like so. Trying not to burn your fingers. I'll just do it this way until it sticks. Isn't that just wonderful? Probably should have had parchment paper down. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to roll, 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 roll. My goal is to put an F on there so you can't see that it's a cardboard tube in the middle. And if I was to unroll it, it'd be pretty thick. Probably about 20 inches, maybe. Ooh, there. So again, we're going to do the exact same thing. I'm just going to put some glue down here. I'm going to fasten my Deco Mesh to this. And this is where, not touching. It was so much easier when I did the other one. I just basically rolled it into a very thick curl and then just cut it in half. So we're going to try this technique. And then I'm going to cut that off. Ta-da. Ta-da. Okay, so I'm liking this to be my top. So this is my top of my stem. You can put it sideways, straight up and down. Pipe cleaner. Put pipe cleaner on pumpkin stem on the back side. Twist pipe cleaner around your stem. And then on the back, because we have our rail exposed, can now attach our stem to our pumpkin and keep it on the rail. This is where sometimes a 14-inch wreath frame would be better because the rail thickness is
a little
not
tighter on the 16 inch.
Yeah, a lot thicker. So we're gonna twist, twist. So there is our pumpkin stem.
And do you just go between one of the sections?
Between two of them.
Yeah.
So like the, what do you call it? 1 and 2.
Gotcha.
So there's my pumpkin stem. It's pretty thin. So you might want to go a little thicker on your pumpkin stem. I'm trying to flatten it out so it'll go a little fatter. Like so. Now we're going to create the leaves.
Can you hold it up? Can't really see it.
Just like that. Pumpkin stem.
Gotcha.
Okay. Waiting for the magic of delay, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now we've got to cut our leaves. And if you remember from the daisy, we're going to cut this into 10 by 10 pieces, and we need 2. Let's do 2 on that one.
Susan said hers too, but hers are adults as far as leaving the toilet paper roll.
I know.
And then Sierra said, Susan, you crushed my hope for the future. Mine leave it on the holder and then they sit a new roll on top.
Yes, what's the whole point of that? It's like when kids bring your cans to the kitchen sink and they leave it on the kitchen sink and the trash can is like right there. It's like, or recycle bin or wherever you want to put it. It's like if your glass made it as far as the kitchen sink, help it into its home in the dishwasher, wash it, do something. So we're doing 10-inch pieces, 10-inch Deco Mesh cut in 10-inch pieces to make our leaves. I'm going to take these bright green things. I'm going to cut them in half because I won't need a full one. So just like so. And then the way we do the petals is you're going to take your corners, you're going to stretch them, and you're going to take your end and make them match. And then you're just going to scrunch. So you have petals like a little bow tie. And you're going to twist it. And you're going to flip it back on itself. So your leaves are both facing in the same direction. And then we're going to take our pipe cleaner and put it right in the middle where my finger is. And you're just going to twist. So this is how you make leaves for your flowers.
Same
Just
for
like
the sunflower, yep.
Yep, exactly the same. So there's one leaf. So again, taking our 10 by 10 inch Deco Mesh piece, and you bring the corners in.
Yes, Rita, you could do a 14-inch frame.
Yes, you can.
Yep.
It'll just be a little bit smaller.
Yeah, Shirley says I'm doing a 14-inch frame right now, and it's fine.
Yeah. Twisting. Shirley, are you doing 21-inch Deco Mesh? So remember, we make our bow tie, we twist it, because that's the way that you can get them facing the same direction. You've got to twist one and get it going in the other direction.
Yep.
Pulling this.
Sandra said it's called being lazy for all the kids who don't put the toilet paper rolls.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is.
It's genius, right?
Yep.
So here are our leaves. So our leaves. I'm looking to see if I like the look of where my leaves are. Do I want to add any more? I don't think so. You could add another set. You can add, you know, if you want them to go a little bit fuller, but I'm trying really hard not to make it look like an orange and make it look like a pumpkin instead.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're going to do is you're going to take your leaves and you're going to go around your pumpkin stem. So you're going to take your pipe cleaners. This is where I probably should have made mine a little bit longer. Twist it around my stem, because remember our stem is now attached to the frame. I'm going to do the other side like this. And I'm going to lay it down so it's a little easier to take these, twist these, and just twist
Hi,
them
Dorothy.
together.
No, the Cal fires aren't. I mean, they're not really affecting us. We can smell the smoke outside, but they're nowhere near us.
It's nasty. Oop.
Susan said, I think some curly cues would be cute.
I have just the solution for you. I'm going to teach you something that I like. Doesn't that look like an orange?
Yeah, kind of.
It does, because pumpkins have vines. They don't have, well, they have leaves, but they need
don't
some
have-
curly cues.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is make the bow, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to add, what do I call it? Curly cues to it. But bow. Bow dabber's already out. You guys know it's my preferred method of making a bow.
Not that she doesn't like the Pro Bow. She loves the Pro Bow, but she just likes the Bow Dabber.
We're gonna make a bow. So I'm going to start with the 2.5, and then we'll do the green, and then we'll do the plaid, and then we'll figure out the length of our tails, because I don't know if I want my tails to go long or short. So I'm gonna leave these. I bet they're about 8 or 10 inches long.
Brenda, yeah, this is on the public.
11.
That's great, so you guys can share this.
away.
Yep.
So 11 inches. So before I do that, I'm gonna do our dovetail. So new people, wired edges, fold it in half. We're gonna cut from the folded side to the point, just like this. Da, da, da. And then you have perfect dovetail. So knowing that mine's gonna be about 11-inch tails, making some space. I start by inserting it into my bow dabber, the bow sides facing up. You will twist it to where you get the wrong side fabric facing you. There you go. I'm going to make a loop like so, because now everything's right side up, and then just twist it, and then push it back in the bow dabber. And then, let's see, because you guys will ask me, 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5. So 5-inch loop.
Susan said she just got a Pro Bow today. It seems fussy. It takes some practice, Susan.
It
You
does.
just have to really practice.
In all honesty, like I said, I started this in September of last year, and at the time, all I could afford was the bow dabber, because it was, what, $15 at Hobby Lobby. You got 40% off. It's like $8. So I was like, okay, this seems easy enough for me to do. So I started learning on the bow dabber, and then it took me forever to figure out how to do the pro bow. And I'm sure there's probably easier way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe a little bit more. A little bit more time to learn how to do the pro bow. So
Deb said she loves the bow, Deborah. No problem, Kim.
I'm just trying to think, do I want to do 4 or do I just want to keep, I think I'm just going to keep it light. So I'm just going to flip this over, measure out.
Loretta, yeah, you could use tan burlap for a bow if you wanted to.
Absolutely. I thought about that.
She also asked, are you going to cover the back with a round orange placemat?
No, I never do.
No, she doesn't.
No. You can, but I don't. Never covered the backs of mine, but you can. I think people say you can go to like Dollar Tree and get the little round placemats, and I think it'll fit pretty good on the back of that. So there's my cheesy bow for now. So now I'm going to go in and do the same with the green. 1.5 inch, Costco, craft outlet, craft outlet. So again, I always start with the dovetail. Fold your wired edges together and cut from the folded side to the point. And we use Betty Crocker scissors because cutting the fat wire will ruin your really good shears. So I'm just going to leave this one long too, because we can always cut them shorter. This doesn't have a right or wrong side, so it doesn't matter, but the technique is still the same. And I usually try to go a little bit shorter each set of bows that I make.
Loretta said this other lady used the stem from flowers and covered it with burlap.
You can
do that.
You could
There's different ways
do
to
a
make the
piece
stems.
of, yeah, you could go get a piece of stick and stick it in there and wire that in. There's no right or wrong way of, you know, making your stem, whatever you want.
You
Like
could
I said,
use the
on that
leftover.
one, I just did a curl.
You could use the leftover 6-inch ribbon center.
What?
A Deco Mesh center, like a 6-inch. You could use that.
It's too thick though. You wouldn't
You
be
could
able to
cut
get it to fold flat. So there's that one. There's this one.
Gail says she loves her pro bow. Brenda says Kristen made her first terry bow a while ago. Great job. That's cool.
I love the terry bows. Those are like my favorite to make on the pro bow. I just have to spend some time doing it
June
more.
said this would make a nice snowman face as well.
Yeah, it would. Ooh, with a nice black top hat, maybe some holly berries, Christmas ribbon. See? It's multi-purpose.
Regina, it's on her regular Cats Creations page where she got her hole punch. I think it's called the Beadsmith 1.5 millimeter hole punch.
It is. Off of Amazon.
Off of Amazon. Yep.
Yep, it's like about, I want to say 15. It may have gone up though. Because now the glue skillets have like skyrocketed. They're almost like $45 each. I'm like, whoa. I think when I got mine it was 21. Okay, so there is my bow. I'm gonna use.
Susan, I misspell all the time, so I can tell what the word is, what the intent of the word is.
So I'm gonna take this and pull this out. Kind of hold that together. Take my pipe cleaner. Normally I have them already pre-done. You just usually bend them beforehand. And then just twist. And then just twist everything else. Like so. So it's nice and twisted. And then we'll kind of just...
Sierra, I've already done a wreath
Making a wreath?
tutorial. Yeah, I've already made a wreath.
Yeah, he has.
I've helped Kat make several of them.
Yeah, he's really good at what he does. We had a challenge. The group actually called Steve out, made him confess by actually doing it and showing everybody he could make a bow by doing it on a Facebook Live. And they got to pick the wreath that he did. So I'm just attaching this back to the center of my stem.
And it was a challenge.
Yeah, it was. I think that's, you can watch that on YouTube or on our group page. It's Steve's fishing.
It's a Father's
Made a
Day
fishing
fishing
wreath.
wreath. Yeah.
So there is our bow. All done. And now we're going to add some fluff to it. I'm just gonna leave the tails out for now, but let me show you what you can do for the curls, right? Everyone said a pumpkin's on a vine and it has little curlicues, right? Okay, so we've all seen the flex tubing, right? You guys have all seen flex tubing. Dollar Tree's gonna start to carry it right now. But, let's see. Trying to gauge. Let's cut this much. So to make it curl, right, because this won't do anything, it's just on its own. Steve's like, did you heat it up with a blow dryer? Did you glue it that way? I was like, no. Magic of TV. Pipe cleaners. And you stick them inside your flex tubing. Just like so. Flex tube. Pipe cleaners. Now watch, this one's going to be like stubborn. Try not to bend your flex tubing. Wow, this one just does not want to go in. Okay, thinking maybe it just has an air issue going through.
Maybe.
So.
Everybody's saying, wow, I love that idea.
Isn't that crazy? I was like, wait, how do I do that? And Steve was like, you melted that, didn't you? I was like, yeah, I did. So, you're just pushing your pipe cleaners all the way through. So obviously I'd probably start with one pipe cleaner length instead of trying to do like what I'm doing, trying to get two to go, because it's just crunching my pipe cleaner. So I'm actually just going to cut this one. That's about as far as it wants to go. Oh, look. Let's see if I can shove one through the other side. Will it go this time? I'm trying to be really careful.
There you go.
There we go. It went through! Okay, so now look, it's got some rigidity to it, right? And then this is what you do. So you make all your little curlicues, and look, now your flex tubing is curlied. This is going to go in the middle. So this is how you can get some crazy funky thing. Oh, okay, I thought of another thing too that I saw while I was looking. You could totally take this thing, right? You do it all in black Deco Mesh. You take a gold ribbon, probably like 7/8, and go straight across. And then you kind of like fan the black out up here, and then you add, it was like cotton balls that were kind of discolored, and it made it look like a cauldron. Like this was the cauldron, this was the lip, and then over here they had like these things with like bubbles, and then they had googly eyes and hands coming up out of it, and it was like creepy but looked cool. So
So how do you tie that on? You just pull it between the bow?
I would actually go behind. I was just looking to see, do I kind of like the lengths of the curlicues? I mean, you can totally, if you wanted to really curly them around, you could add it to your bow. In this situation, I would probably just come back in, since my bow's not totally and totally twisted on. I'll just take this off really quick. Take this, tie this into the back of my bow so it'll stick to the bottom like so, and then tie this back on to my stem. So I'm going to have some curlicues in there. And you can add more, you can add brown ones, you can add beige ones, but now you guys know how to make your flex tubing
into curls.
Into curls. Curls that stay. Instead of trying to do like curling ribbon or anything like that. So now we're going to go back in and add our florals. Oops. Put this piece away. Move this over here. So these were the picks that I pulled, which are, rubber band them, they're all the same. So these have like pumpkins on them with little fall colored berries, maple leaves, pine cones. This one has a little bit of a cattail and a yellow pumpkin. So you can come back in if you want to look before you put them all in there. I'm just going to kind of lay these to the side. This is kind of how I judge whether or not I want to incorporate them. So just kind of make them arch. Just kind of lay them in. Well, move my bows. I think I want, not that one, this one. Symmetry, right babe? You like symmetry. Everything the same on both sides.
Oh, she also says, I love using the flex tubing like that. I just couldn't get into the flex tubing until I saw that technique.
Just now?
Yeah.
Oh, well, see, now you know. And people go like, how did you do that? How did you make your flex tubing stay like that? I can't get mine to do that. And you're like, trade secret.
That'll be $29.95.
Trade secret. Yep. So, and I'm pulling all these out. And I'm going to add a bunch more fall leaves, but I'm kind of liking the way this looks, but I want to add
pretty.
some more leaves. So I'm going to kind of pull these out.
I like it just like that.
What?
Just how you had it.
You just liked it like that? You don't think it needs more? Do you guys agree with Steve?
You have to put it back in and show everybody.
Okay. I just have it sitting on the top of my pumpkin. This would actually get wired to the back or hot glued in. Okay, let me just kind of, this is what I did with the other one. I just kind of fashioned it, hung it up on the door, looked at it a little bit. Did I like it? Did I not like it? Okay, I'm gonna attempt to hold this. Cool, what do you guys think?
What do you guys think? Just like that?
Do you think it needs anything else?
Do you think it needs anything else more greeny, or just you like it just like that? I love it just like that. So everybody's saying beautiful. I love it. Jane says beautiful. Yes, it looks great. What do you think? Does it need more?
I'm gonna put some more leaves. I'm gonna put some more leaves because it kind of has to go hand in hand with my ribbon. So I'm looking for some darker leaves, some darker fall leaves.
Everybody said they look good like it is. They love it.
What, like it was?
Yeah.
You guys are all siding with Steve. I know how it is. They're like, yeah, Steve, that's a really great idea.
No, when you picked it up, it looked beautiful.
I'm kidding.
She'll make it even better though.
No, they'll probably be like, you should have left it like it was.
Everybody
Just trying to
says
find some
love it,
weird-
love it, love it.
weird
Catherine
stuff.
says no small pumpkins, just leaves.
See, that's what I was thinking. It doesn't need pumpkins, right? Just some leaves and some pine cones and some acorns. Okay, let me look. I think it's the green, the limey green stem that's throwing me. I should probably get a darker green or brown, maybe. More like avocado colored. I think that's what's throwing me.
Just the regular green, huh?
Yeah, just like the Christmas green, I'm thinking. Like the Christmas green color instead of Dayglow fluorescent green. So he's going to go get the, whatchamacallit. So I'm just adding my leaves. Because unlike a grapevine, you can't just stick it in there, look at it, and then decide if you like it, come back in and add some more to it. But I'm thinking it's the limey green thing. It's just the wrong palette. So now I'm going to go back in and take that out real quick. Okay. So I'm going to go in, take my bow off really quick.
That green?
Yes, that green would be better because it matches the glue gun. It matches the this color. See, this looks better.
You need,
No, I have some. The Pipecleaners?
yeah.
This is actually thicker, so this will make it, let me find the end. There we go. Okay, so let's try to do this. See if this looks better. And look, this goes through so much nicer. I think what I want to do this. So this way they're all connected. Wait, it didn't go.
You have to twist both sides.
I did. I was like, when I pushed it in, the other one just stayed.
Might be tough now to get it. How's it going?
It's going. It's just, it's like a mouse inside a snake's belly.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, bad analogy.
Maybe a basketball inside a snake's belly.
Yeah. So I'm just taking it. Feels like shoelaces now. Okay.
There you go.
Where is my scissors? Here we go. So now we can do the exact same thing. Add our little curlicues. Cut this one off.
Yeah, because you could use a little red mesh and make an ornament for Christmas with the curly things. Yeah.
Yeah, you could. Okay. Around and around and around. I think it looks better. The coloring is better. You know what's funny is when you cut it, let me do this.
You just cut the one side off. Yeah, there you go.
I know, but it just wants to undo. It wants to just keep unrolling. But then I'm trying to fold it so it doesn't keep unwinding. Now it looks like a snake. See, this one's all unwinding.
Yeah, Sandra said that color tubing looks much better.
I agree. It just likes to unwind, so I'm trying to...
Probably should have pushed it in a little bit further, that way it wouldn't have.
No, it's still fraying. It just keeps unwinding and unwinding and unwinding. Unlike the other Dollar Tree pipe cleaner. Okay. Make it kind of fan out a little bit more. I think once it's in there, I'll actually cut the ends off. So let me put this in. Wire this in. I think that it was the lime green. I just didn't like that color. So out of the way, around the stem. See, it's easy once you finish this to go around your stem. And the one thing about the cardboard toilet paper holder, or you can even do it with a paper towel one, is it creates some, it's thick, so it's, when you go and fasten stuff on the stem, it's not like trying to attach it to an empty Deco Mesh curl.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that works. Okay. So.
Yeah, she'll go back and correct all the frays on it and everything.
Yeah. Like, once I get it, I'm actually going to probably, let me get this
You
way.
can do a little dab of glue, yeah.
I am, and then I'm going to cut it off right where it's frayed, and then it should be okay. And then when I cut it, it shouldn't fray anymore. It should be done. So let that dry. I like these colors. So let's take these. So this is where you can take your leaves and stick them in to your Deco Mesh.
Yep.
This one's a really good pick.
Lynn said I better hurry and buy straws. California's banning them. Just San Francisco.
I thought, no, because everybody is.
No, it's just San Francisco right now. It just has the ban.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you know? Are you following the news?
Because
Because you're Steve.
I'm in the know.
I guess so.
It was just San Francisco that banned the straws. That's it.
I thought everybody was.
Nope.
It's California. They're weird. Okay, let me add some browns to the reds. There we go.
Don, yeah, you could put leaves on the bottom of it too. It was like sitting in
You
in a
could.
patch, a pumpkin patch. You could.
How you decorate it at that point, I think, is entirely up to you.
Totally up to you. Yeah.
I'm just actually trying to feather these to kind of create my fake pumpkin base.
Mm-hmm.
So you want them out a little bit further.
Thanks for loving the page. Give us a bunch of shares. Give us a bunch of likes and loves.
You loves?
Mm-hmm.
I'm kidding, babe. I'm kidding. I want, for some reason, I'm liking the browns.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So. And I'm trying to get them to fan out across the top of the pumpkin. So that it kind of creates, I don't know, I would think if you're in a pumpkin patch, the fall leaves would stay on top of the pumpkins,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just building little layered bases and then probably add in some pine cones.
I don't think you need to add pine cones.
They're like, no, don't add pine cones. Just finish. I think, no. Trying to decide if I like the lengths of the ribbons the way that they are.
Green's a little too long, maybe.
Yeah, I know that one is for sure. Wow. Okay. Eyeballs. Guessing. Fix these. And all they did, look, babe.
Carla said, looks so pretty. Sandra says, hearts.
I know,
Yeah,
but
it's cute. But
I have to take that this thing, because when I cut,
you just phrase again.
it just refrayed again. This one's fine, but this one, look what it did. It just
Yeah.
popped back out. Okay, we'll try one more time before we let it go.
Yeah.
And if not,
We'll work on it.
it's coming out. But at least you know you can do it.
This
You
one's
can
just being
add it.
stubborn.
You can definitely add it. That one's fine. It's the other one that's not coming out.
Linda, no problem. Yeah, we'll post the replay after this.
So I'm liking that. It's so hard to do this upside down, you know?
Turn it around.
Nah, it's okay. Still hot. And I'm like trying really hard to get it to stick to the pipe cleaner.
Yeah, one thing about that tubing, it frays really, really quick.
Not this one. That the thicker one, yeah, but okay, let me look.
You had a couple leaves fall off.
I know, I saw. I'm just trying to pull them down. So let's see what it looks like from here. I don't know. I think it's still the curly cues, but I'm gonna leave them. I like it. Just trying to make them curl more spiral, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna attach my leaves, which is right underneath my bow. I'm just gonna hot glue them directly to the top of my pumpkin. Just like so. That's exactly how I'm making them stick. And so people said, seriously, no pumpkins? What about floral,
A
though?
couple people said no pumpkin.
What about floral? Yes, floral?
No, everybody said they loved it with the floral. Just a couple of people said they didn't like it with the pumpkins.
No pumpkins.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at these. Just snip. I feel like I'm looking for things that are more like a mustard yellow color.
Mm-hmm.
Fall colors, oranges, a little bit of greens. Wow, this one's really long. These are those flowers, but they're really long.
Yvonne says, love the pumpkins. Alex said you could glue a small glittery styrofoam ball on the end of the curly cues. No, because they're supposed to be curly cues for...
They're supposed to be a pumpkin.
They're supposed to be to imitate the vines. The little curly vines.
It worked.
Good.
That one worked. The bane of my existence, using cheap, whatchamacallit?
The Dollar Tree.
No, the Dollar Tree worked really well. It was the other stuff that's not Dollar Tree. Okay. Going to come in. Start layering my leaves really quick.
She said, love all the different ideas of decorating.
I'm just thinking the floral, the leaves.
Mm-hmm.
I think it needs the fall leaves because that was the whole point of doing the burlap ribbon with the leaves on it. Was to incorporate the colors of fall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She's almost done. She's almost got it.
Yeah. Not scissors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me just add. I can start going a little quicker now. Go around, add my other leaves over on this side, add some flowers. Now we should be pretty much done.
They've zoomed in a bit.
Okay. Browns and greens. More browns. What are you doing? Taking the thing off the back of the jar?
Yeah.
You're a smart man.
Sometimes.
All the time. Okay. So I'm just taking them and kind
Hi,
of
Adele.
gluing them to one another underneath, kind of adding different colors, different textures. Yeeks, this one's not what I wanted to put on there.
Oh, Trisha said, oh my goodness, I almost forgot her witch's hats she ordered came in today. My local Dollar Tree store. Can't wait to start on them.
Yay!
Free shipping to the store. Yep, if you ship them to the store, it's free shipping.
Yes. That is what's so amazing about Dollar Tree, is how they'll do that. I need one with the leaves on it though.
Susan said it's beautiful. Carol said I enjoy watching you create.
This is like legitimately like what I would be doing if nobody was here. Except there would be like music playing. Crazy music. Yes. These down. Okay.
Hi, Korean, no problem. She says, missed it. I'll have to watch the replay.
Yeah, right? I think the longest that we've taken right now has been deciding flowers, no flowers.
Thanks,
Curls, no
Yvonne.
curls.
Yvonne said, Steve, you have skinny legs.
Why?
Because I walked back and took the wreath thing
Oh.
off. She could see my legs. Dawn says she also got her a case of witch's hat also. That's awesome.
Yay.
I just said
not
great
liking
job, lots of
those.
creative ideas flowing tonight for sure.
I'm looking for the things that I have brought out here.
What?
I'm just looking to see where they got stuffed. I have like little baby sunflowers. Oh, here they are.
Oh, gotcha.
I was like, where'd they go? Let's see if these will go. You guys know me, it's all about colors, textures. So I like to mix the chrysanthemums up with the smaller sunflowers. So it's good when you're picking out your florals to get stuff that's big, but also stuff that's very small so that you can use them as filler.
Loretta, she puts the flowers in just to look at the placement, and then once she does it, she'll go back and glue everything in.
Like I am now.
Yeah.
Well, I've done all the chrysanthemums, these things. I've done those. Those are glued. They're just glued underneath the bow.
Right to the mesh. The mesh works as a great net.
It works amazing to hold everything together. So the goal is just to kind of, I don't know if I want that one.
Liz, she said she sells this for about $60.
Yeah, I'd probably, like I said, for me, I would go back in and just add some more textures, maybe add a punch of orange floral, because right now they're all yellow and brown.
Yeah, but you've got orange on the bow, you've got orange on the leaves.
I know, it's just kind of, I know, and it's in the leaves, but...
Susan said no berries.
I know, see? Oh, there they are. I can cut the berries off. Because we all agreed that your pumpkins they're cute, babe. I'm just cutting them off the pick. So yeah.
So there you go, Susan, just for
Berries.
you, some berries.
Well, I'm still not liking that curlicue thing. But let me pick it. I'll put them down here. It's just looking at the way the berries lay naturally and go, can I put them in and incorporate them? That works. I'm trying to find the other berries though. Here they are. The other pick. Because you like it, babe. We're building symmetrically for you. Right?
I would have been fine with big pumpkin picks on the sides.
I know you
Call
would
it
have been.
done.
He's like, just call it done and finish it. Okay, let me add these.
Yeah, there's 24 in a case for those witch wreath hat frames, but it's only $24. So
What?
the witches hats
What about them?
at the Dollar Tree,
Mm-hmm.
it's they're 24 in a case.
Oh, like the wreaths.
Yeah,
It's kind of weird. It's like, why is it not 25, right?
yeah. And we found out too. You actually don't have to order a whole case. You could just order
A couple.
10.
Yeah, they do partials.
Yep.
So we added some berries. Let me pull these down. Hold on a second. Okay, I think I want that there. So I'm going to flip this around really quick. I'm going to glue some pine cones in. What?
Nothing.
So do you think your dad's home by now?
Maybe. I'll have to check after this.
I'm hoping. anywhere is better. Just
Arlene
thinking in
asked,
your
what's
own
the
bed.
SKU number for the Dollar Tree witch hat frames? If you gals can oblige and put
Sure.
that, share it, that'd be great.
Yeah, someone will. I'll go.
Trisha
hold on.
says just search witch hats on Dollar Tree page.
Okay. So you already took the thing down?
Yep.
Okay.
You about got it?
Yeah, I'm just looking, babe. You guys know me. It always has to have just a smidge of green. Glue stick. Adding them to the berries. Light little touch of the ivy leaves. Get rid of all my glue threads. Go over here. Ivy.
Oh, there you go. Sandra said, Rita, go into the quick order button and then type in 240514.
Woo. So someone actually posted that? Sandra?
Sandra did, yeah.
Awesome. See, I love ivy.
And don't search with the term frame.
Yeah, it'll probably come up with every frame Dollar Tree has.
Yeah. Thank you, Trisha. You rock.
See, adding the ivy looks good.
All you gals rock.
Okay, now the only problem is we do have to add a hanger to the back. So let me undo mine. Let me twist all my twisties in there.
Looks awesome, baby. I can't really see this down, but it looks awesome.
Oh, it's right there.
It's behind the bow.
Yeah, it's kind of behind the bow. We can move the bow down. But let me do this. And let me lay it.
Hi, Carol. Yeah, we're going to put this on the replay. We'll post it at the very end, and you can just watch it on Cats Creations, and then later tonight we'll try to download it to
YouTube.
Or upload it to YouTube.
Upload.
Yep.
Oops. I'm trying to add my wire. So I want to go around my stem. And then just kind of create something to hang it to. So we'll see what it looks like. It might be too long. So we have a hanger. Oop. But we have all the glue.
Well, if you could hold it up for everybody first.
Yeah, since I took all the glue off. Hold on a second. For me gluing.
Got some little frazzles.
Threads. Okay. Yeah. This is where you have to take your blow dryer and blow dry it. So that's what it looks like as I sit here and keep pulling these off.
Love it, gals. Give it lots of loves.
That's actually kind of cool too because it's pretty thick. It's very pillowy. And then this is what it looks like if we hang it on the door. Just like so. And then you can kind of just a little bit. Right? So here's our curly cues. We like those. Here are leaves. Okay. There we go. Now I'm happy. Got rid of all the glue threads.
Everybody sounded beautiful. Love it. Thank you for another great night. Love the way it came out.
Hopefully it'll be, I feel like I'm like hiding behind stuff. Yeah, I think, and like I said, if you're unhappy with like your sides, you just take them and you just tuck them in. So just like that one. Like if it starts to show, You just tuck it in the sides because you're looking for an oval and not a round. And like I said, depending upon what you choose to do, you could turn them sideways.
Yep.
Make your mummy if you want the zigzags to go. You can make a basketball. I'm trying to think what else is
Everybody
on
said
that.
super cute. They love it. Don says I'm gonna make several.
Right? It's fairly
Yep.
simple.
Yep.
You won't struggle. I think when you're doing it on your own and not explaining it, I think when I did it, it only took me a little while, and I'll show you what the back of the other one looks like. It's different. So my technique in doing the other one was,
Yeah, Liz. Well, we can always push the bow down a little bit so you can see the stem.
yeah. But see, like this one, when you flip it over, it's actually, it went back and forth all the way around. But that's how that one worked. And it's weird because it's very thick. It feels like,
Kind of stiff. Yeah.
yeah, it's very stiff. But it's not paper. But they label it as Deco Mesh, but it's the weirdest Deco Mesh I think I've ever felt in my whole life. But I just liked it because I like the color. I was like, it's different. It's not what we're used to seeing.
Yeah.
So what questions do you guys have that I can answer for you?
Any other questions, gals?
Like I said, you guys won't even need a full roll of 21-inch Deco Mesh. Trying to think of anything else.
Even the one that she just held up, it was right at one whole roll of 21 inch.
Yeah, that one went, and it makes sense because I went completely all the way around.
Yeah.
And I just secured at the bottom. I didn't secure it at the top. It was just a different technique trying, and I was like, wow, if I do this one, we may or may not run out. Let's just do a different technique that will get you through one whole roll. Now, if you're doing 2 10-inch, you're going to have to get to a point where you're going to have to tie off and then start your next roll. You know what I'm saying? Start your next roll somewhere maybe about halfway through. So just kind of gauge that, look at how much you have left and decide, do I need to curb this now and then start my next roll? Because you don't want to wind up like halfway here, or you have it just enough but not quite to go around to secure it. But hopefully that should help you guys.
They asked if you could hold that one up too.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and they're very, very, very light. So this one, I think, even when I posted it on my site, because I don't know about the quality of this Deco Mesh, I said I would not recommend that this one get wet. So indoor or outdoor, but take it off before the weather changes. So mostly an indoor wreath for that one because it's more rustic, I think. I'm guessing. Yes.
Yep. So we'll take photos of the other one she just finished, and we'll put that up on
the
Etsy.
page so you guys can see where it's at.
Yep.
And then we'll go from there. So don't get the overly fat. The stuff from what do you call it? Dollar Tree worked out so much better. It doesn't unfray, obviously. Like it doesn't fall apart. Like when you cut it, it doesn't unravel like the other thicker one did. So I'd probably go with thinner. And I don't know if you have the choice. I know like Craft Outlet, Trendy Tree, the Race Shop sells the flex tubing, but I think it's the kind that would unwind on you depending upon what you choose to use it. So you might have to, you know, do your ends and maybe put a little dab of glue on them.
That's awesome, Rita. She said the candy cane frames are available online.
Already?
Yep.
Woo woo! Everyone's
then,
gonna everybody's gonna buy those because you can make a ton of stuff from that.
Regina, the hole punch is called Beadsmith. All one word, BEADSMITH. 1.5 millimeter hole punch.
Right.
Green and black, I think.
It's great. It's like is it a teal?
Packaging right
Oh,
there.
right here.
It's a green.
Yeah, it says metal hole punch pliers. So yeah, like a teal color and black.
Yep.
And that's what you need for all your metal signs. I would refrain from using the adhesive tabs on them because as the weather changes, it either gets hot and cold. That adhesive just doesn't stay.
Yep.
And if you put a lot of tension on it to hold your sign, it's going to pop off. Guaranteed. It's
Yep.
gonna pop off.
So you can go on a Dollar Tree store and just search for candy cane frame,
Wreath frames?
wreath frame,
Yeah,
witch hat, all that.
exactly. Okay.
So okay, gals. Happy Friday.
Any other questions? Last minute questions? Private group. We're doing fall lantern swag on Sunday. So bring your lanterns. If you have your lanterns, pick up some fall picks, whatever you want to be on your lantern, some ribbon, and it should be short and sweet.
Yep.
Something simple, just like we did the Halloween, but with fall. All right, everybody, you have a great rest of the weekend, and I will talk to you next week. And I'll try to figure out what we're making next week.
Yep.
We'll figure that out.
And the candy canes are also Dollar Tree. They should be.
Yes, and they should be $1.
And they should be $1. Yep.
And you want to buy like 10 of them or a case of them, because you can make a lot of different things from them. You can make a back to school bookworm. You can make
Yep.
a candy cane. You can shepherd's crook, whatever you want to make.
Okay, gals.
Have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.